All right, it's me again. We are going to go over week 6 in the NFL, see how we did. Last week was great. I did 9 out of 9, 9, 9. It's not bad. Wow, 9 versus Vegas. Wow. So I know that Vegas did bad since me, the average you, did good. So, not the case this time. 2 push and 5 out of 14. We didn't look at the over under. That's just crap. I mean, whatever. We're more focused on who's going to win ATS. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so Denver versus San Diego. The result was 13-21. As I told you in the last video, I did not get to pick that game. Life happens. What can I say? We were in the middle of sort of moving house, so that's what happened there. Okay, so the first game up, New England at Cincinnati, or Cincinnati at New England. So this was played at New England with Tom Brady back. I didn't get to watch any of this. But Cincinnati only putting up 17 points. It's not going to do it against New England. They put up 35 points. The game went over. I was correct by going over with New England covered by 7.5. It's one of the bigger lines in Vegas this week, or this last week. I was right on that one. One of the only ones that I got right. Baltimore at the Giants, the football Giants. The line was actually New York by 3.5. They were at home. I thought it was kind of telling of how bad New York is. Not that they're bad, but I don't think they're particularly good. So I actually went with Baltimore. Score was 23-27. The over under was 43. So 23-27. Baltimore did indeed keep it close, but New York, or the Giants, actually covered, winning by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 4. So they covered by that half point. What can we say? It's Vegas, right? They're always right. The next game was also close. Carolina was favored by 2.5. Carolina at New Orleans, so Carolina coming into it still being favored was big time. I mean, in this case, I think New Orleans is the worst team. Carolina does. Well, they were actually trailing for most of the game, and they came back and made it a game at the second half. New Orleans still hangs on to the lead, 41-38. 53.5 was the over/under. This game went way over. Both teams putting up lots of points, but Carolina coming up short by 3 points. Carolina, yeah, just straight up lost. I was wrong about that one. Philadelphia or Pittsburgh at Miami. Pittsburgh, Roethlisberger came out early in the game. I want to say it was in the first quarter, if not sometime in the second quarter. I think it made a pretty huge difference. Over under was 49.5. This game stayed under that, and luckily I picked the under. Big freaking deal though. Pittsburgh gets their asses handed to them on the road, 15-30. Miami, 30 points. I think it was just Pittsburgh just failing to have a decent emergency plan. That's all. Maybe next week will be a different story. I think I did get an update. Roethlisberger will be out for a number of weeks, 4 weeks. I think he's going to have some sort of surgery. Nothing major, but 4 weeks is still a while to be out. Certainly it's a quarter of the season, so it's a lot of time. Jacksonville at Chicago. I got back on the Chicago bandwagon, and I was disappointed. What can I say? That's one of the only free games that I did get to watch here. Jacksonville losing the whole entire time of the game. Halftime comes around, they make some adjustments. Maybe they both make adjustments. Chicago just can't score. I mean, Chicago can't score in the red zone. That's been the issue. And Jacksonville just puts 17 on them late in the game and wins the game straight out. So Chicago was favored by 2.5. 46 was the over/under. This game did stay under, but Chicago did not win or cover. So Jacksonville wins this one. Hats off to them. I was wrong. Biggest takeaway in that one, well, the Bears suck. Brian Hoyer is a step up, but we still can't put it in the end zone. With a touchdown anyway. Next game out, San Francisco at Buffalo. Buffalo, 45 points. Where do these guys get off getting all these points? Buffalo is a sleeper in my. I mean, now in week 6, full blown sleeper. They're coming out of. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but um, they're doing something right. So yeah, they're putting up a lot of points. Yeah, and they easily cover against the San Francisco team, which actually had Kaepernick starting. I don't know. I think San Francisco was just reaching for something. 16-45 was the result. It went over only because Buffalo kept that over. Um, and yeah, let's go on to the next game here. Los Angeles versus Detroit. Detroit at home, a 3-point favorite. Detroit wins, barely covering. This one actually was a push because Detroit was favored by 3 and Detroit won by 3. Over under was 44.5. This game went way over, 31-28, or LA 28, Detroit 31. Cleveland at Tennessee. Cleveland continued to struggle. They had a close game. I didn't watch any of this game. 26-28. Tennessee was favored by 7.5. I went with Tennessee with those points, but yeah, Cleveland actually kept it close. 44.5 was the over under, 26-28, so it did easily go over. But I don't know. It is an improved Cleveland effort, but wow, they're still winless. At this point, you probably want to lose the games that you could if you're Cleveland. I don't think anybody in the NFL ever does play to lose, but it's a good strategy at this point for them, I think. I mean, 10-6 if you win out is the best you can do, and you're not going to win out and not in this NFL. All right, Philadelphia at Washington. Philadelphia favored by 3.5 on the road, telling of how bad Washington is and how good people think Philly is. Philly's starting to come back to earth. They're not. I don't think they're as heavily looked at upon. I mean, the Carson Wentz flash in the pan is starting to wear off. Philadelphia still favored in this one. Philadelphia loses 20-27. It did not. It did go over by 2 points. So that was the result of that one. Kansas City at Oakland. I'm high on Oakland. I went with Oakland. The line was set at 1.5, went to 2. I picked it at 1.5. Kansas City hands them a 26-10 spanking. Oakland at home losing to a well-coached Kansas City team, 26-10. So I picked the over, stayed under, and I picked Oakland with the point and a half, and I was wrong. Atlanta at Seattle. Seattle, a 6.5-point favorite. To me, it was easy. I don't see Seattle as doing anything spectacular in the last couple of seasons. Certainly not 6.5-point spread. I went with Atlanta with the points, and I actually guessed this one correct. Atlanta still loses, but they only lose by 2. 24-26. 45.5 was the over-under. So it did barely eke out a over, but Atlanta does keep it close to cover. I was right on that one. Dallas at Green Bay. Another one. Green Bay, not the same Green Bay that we're used to. Not the dominant, discount double check Aaron Rodgers that I'm used to. I can call it a slump. I went. Green Bay was a 4.5-point favorite. I went with Dallas with the points. Dallas is looking fabulous. I mean, I know they're coming into scary Green Bay, but I just went with a gut on this one, and I guessed right. Dallas, 30 points on the road in Green Bay against that Green Bay, and they just dominated. I mean, their arrow is pointing way up. And those 2 rookies, man, who knows what if they keep the back to America's team? I don't know. Who knows? I got about a minute left here to get the 10-minute mark. So yeah, I picked Dallas in the over, and it did not go over. 30-16 did not go over. Indianapolis at Houston. Houston was a 3-point favorite at home. 48 was the over-under. This game was 23-26. Indy scoring only 23. Houston putting up 26 points, which actually is pretty surprising. But yeah, it was a push. Statistically, it was a push, and it did go over. New York Jets at Arizona. Arizona putting 28 points on the board at home. Good for them against the shitty Jets. I mean, this game was a laugh. Nobody wanted to watch this. And that was the score. I mean, that's just what it was. And I am going to run out of time here. So, yeah, I did bad. Hopefully, you didn't. I'll see you guys next time.